Roses. Flowers. Roses are red, violets are blue. Meow, meow, give me some food. Because it is a special day, we should all sing the parade. La, 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 la. You know what to do. Because we are going to have ice cream today. Because it is the best day ever. We will dance and sing all day.
Hello and welcome to Jennifer Knatters. I am Jennifer and this is my knitting and nattering podcast. I say knitting, it is any crafty thing that I do and want to tell you about. But I am primarily a knitter as my crafty thing. I apologize for the background noise. I've got the Roomba going on the other, the Roomba is doing the whole house, but it's on the other side of the door right now. The dryer is going, so if you can hear that, which is also just past the other side of the door. And then I have closed the windows out here. As you can see, it's a lovely sunny day. There's the sun. Hello, sun. I think that's where the sun is. The neighbors are out in their garden with their baby, and they've got some friends or family over. Here in Scotland, the restrictions have just eased up to the point where you can get together with one other family, maximum 4 adults, I think. Children under 12 don't count. But anyway, they're having a bit of a social in their garden, enjoying the lovely sunshine. And yeah, if you can hear those things, I apologize, but it is Friday afternoon. I have to go get my children in half an hour. And the whole week has been a bit of a to-do. Excuse me. Hopefully I will have time to talk. Blah, blah, blah. Time to talk about that in a little bit. I said I'm Jennifer. I said this is Jennifer Knatters. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I am the Jennifer of Jennifer Knatters. And today is the 19th of March, Friday the 19th of March. Last time it took me basically a whole week from when I recorded it to when I could upload it. It is now playing with the door stopper. The Roomba is. The Roomba has had issues. The Roomba has had issues. It got an update that corrupted its maps. We've got the kind of Roomba that can map the house, and then you can say, go clean the kitchen and the dining room every night at a certain time. Because of that, I tried having it remap first, and that didn't work, so I had to factory reset it and remap. So I basically spent half of the last 2 weeks picking up all the furniture that can move off the floor so the Roomba can get a clean room. When it's just going to clean 1 or 2 rooms, like you can push the dining room chairs into the lounge and have it just do that room. But for right now, all the furniture is piled up. The small furniture is piled up on big furniture. All of the toys are up off the floor. Like my kids' dollhouse and stuff. It's all up. If I haven't said, since I mentioned kids, I have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old, 2 cats and a husband who all live here with me in northern Scotland. I am a bit manic. I have had a bit of a day, a bit of a week, and I really want to sit down and talk to you. But yeah, the last one took me a full week to get up from when I recorded it. So it was uploaded a week ago, but I recorded it 2 weeks ago. So let's see what I got done. I only worked on a couple things. So that is what I am going to show you. And first, I have a finished object, and it is a nice finished object. It is a big finished object. It is in a plastic bag because it is a gift for a friend. It is a Christmas present. Yes, we are halfway through March, but I have finished the Bleideag. Bleideag? I should have looked this up. I meant to look it up, but I've had such a morning. And I have this little bag that came with some bedding in it that I have put this in, and then I will wrap it up and I'll give it to her tomorrow, which will be before I upload this. So if she does watch it, she will already have her lovely jumper. It is wonderful. I started it back, I think November. That was what I had seen. Do you know what? You don't know when I stopped to look at my book because that was in a previous take. We are already on my second take and we are still completely disjointed. It is the Bleideag pullover. and that is a collaborative effort between Isolde Teague and Becca, I can't remember her last name, and the pattern only lists one person. I did look it up, but it didn't have her name on the listing where I was looking, and I didn't look on the website. Anyway, Isolde Teague and Becca somebody, it is sold through the Isolde Teague website. As a note, if things are only sold through Ravelry at this point, I will not be mentioning pattern names or designers, and I feel weird doing that, but some of them are projects I've had or I've bought and still want to make. But until even things where I've mentioned before, I will not be mentioning the designer or the pattern going forward. Just because Ravelry is handling it really badly. If you don't know, they had a site redesign over the summer, which caused a lot of visual interference problems for people who are prone to those sort of problems. That was really eloquent. It's causing migraines, headaches. I've heard of a couple people having seizures. It's been really bad, and Ravelry's response was beyond terrible. They attacked people who were complaining about it. They were banning people who mentioned about it. They eventually sent out an email saying, or a blog post saying, "We are very sorry that people have been so upset. We'll look into it." They haven't looked into it. They have not hired a visual accessibility person or any of the things they said they're going to do. And the skin that they had laid over the website, which helped some of the people who are having visual problems, but not all of them, that skin will no longer be available as of the end of this month. And there are rumors of a dark mode that will be rolled out presumably at that time, but again, that does not help some of the underlying problems. People who then will have the problem with the contrasts. It's not a fix. It's not an apology. It's not an acknowledgement of the pain they have caused. It has been an absolute dumpster fire from start to end. So I will not be sending any support their way. And if, as a designer at this point, you're not even trying to move your catalog, not necessarily entirely off of Ravelry, because I do understand a lot of people still use it. It's, a primary source of income for many designers who need that money. But if your patterns are not also available somewhere else, some of your patterns, your new patterns as they're being released, if you're not at least trying, then, why would I want to support that? So if patterns and designers are only available on Ravelry, I will not be mentioning specifically who they are. Anyway, the Bleideag pullover, which I have finished yesterday, washed, woven in all the ends, and wrapped up. I will obviously do something a bit prettier to cover the whole thing. That sun's getting really bright. I don't have time to close the lines and do things again. I will just be very nicely backlit. The Bleideag pattern is available on Isolde Teague's website, which I believe is isolde.com. I will put this information and most everything else that I should down below. If I miss anything or you have any questions, please leave a comment and I can add information there. Yes, Bleideag. It is a colorwork yoked pullover knit in the bottom up. You can all have a nice look at it. Knit in the bottom up. It does have colorwork at the bottom and the bottom of the sleeves. I wrote down what colors I used. Dun 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 dun. I have the dark brown, the main color is chocolate heather. And then it is rust heather. And then it is Murky and Straw. This is Lettlopi. It is a Lopiessa style pullover. I have, since I started working on this, and referred to it as a Lopiessa, although I think at the time I forgot the word, and I believe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, so I apologize both to the Gaelic speakers who know I'm pronouncing the name of the pattern wrong, and the Norwegians or other Scandinavians who know how to pronounce the style of jumper correctly. It's not my day. The Lopiessa, I believe, is a named region product, so like champagne has to come from Champagne in France. Lopiessas have to come from Norway. But yes, that is the Lettlopi colors that I knit it in, which I ordered from the Isolde Teague website. That sun's really looking bright. We should definitely go to the park after school today. It is a gorgeous day. Going to the park, I do not consider to be a risk because we go there with the children. It's mainly the kids my older child is in school with. So they are already a bubble. She plays with her classmates, the younger one plays with her classmates, or, you know, it's not, the parents all stay apart. Anyway, I have finished it. I cast it on in November. I got a lot of work on it right away. I did each sleeve took me about a day, and then the ribbing for the body slowed me down a lot. It is knit in the round from the bottom up. The ribbing for the body to knit. Oh, I hear the baby crying next door. The entire ribbing for the cuffs was the same number of stitches as 2 rows of, you know, the cast on row and the first row knitting of the body. So it did slow down a fair bit when I started the body. And then I got to where you join the sleeves. I think that's my husband coming home. And then I really slowed down because that's when we went into lockdown for Christmas. Sorry about that. My husband came home from his after lunch walk. How much time do I have? I've got 15 minutes. So that's the Bleideag. It's knit in the round from the bottom up. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was saying that when I hit the yoke, when you add the sleeves to the body, and then there's some shaped decreases to help the yoke, fit arms a little better. And then some short rows to raise the back a little. That was right when we went into lockdown, right before Christmas. And then the children did not go back to school after Christmas until mid-February. So it took a while. I did try at one point in that period to work on it. And I completely screwed it up and had to rip back that section and start over. So if you're wondering, it just took brain power that I did not have, which was any, really. I mean, I worked on socks in the round and little crochet square. Like, I did not do anything that required any keeping track of knitting. That was all behind me. So that's my first finished object. My second finished object is oh, and as a side, even though we have very different body shapes, we have the same size in that jumper. So before I washed it and blocked it, I tried it on and it fits just fine for me. So if I were to knit one in colors more suited to myself, then now I know exactly what size to knit and what my gauge is and everything. Hooray! I'm trying to straighten this out because it's just a little twisted and I don't think it matters. These have not been blocked, but these are the Flux hand warmers by Martina Benham. Again, I have not looked that up and I'm very, very sorry. Words that I see written down do not translate well to actual words you say out loud. Ta-da! Look, I will cover the sun. And now I'm all glowy. Yeah, I did reasonably well at They're obviously not identical twins, but they are clearly a matched set. This is the first pattern from, now the sun. What is the sun doing? That's better. Too much sun is not a problem we usually have in northern Scotland. These are the Flux Hand Warmers by Martina Ben. They are knit in Zauberball. This is their 4-ply. Zauberball is known for long color repeats. The exact yarn I know some people take as an ableist slur, which I realized after I said it last time. So I'm not saying the name of the yarn, but it is the one where it is the two different colors that are mixed matched and plied together. So you get different color. You basically need almost an entire ball to get a long color to repeat the colors, depending on how complicated the colors are in the ball. This one's not the most complicated. It's blue, black, and teal, so they line up again fairly well. And maybe silver. Yeah, I'm going to call that silver. These are identical in that it doesn't matter which hand you wear them on. Ta-da! And these ones feature a folded brim with a picot edge, which is the technique. This is the first pattern for Confident Knitter, another year of techniques by the Arnold Culliford Knitwear team. And yeah, folded brims. These ones got off to a wonderful start. You barely need any yarn at all to knit this. This is absolutely something to do with sock yarn scraps or other such scraps. I will just doot. I have the ball band focus. Ta-da. I can't tell if that focused or not, but that is the ball band. It does come with a picture of the color repeat. I guess this colorway is called U-Boat. And it is in, this is also very exciting. I will take the stuff out of it. I made a new project bag. Ta-da! These are pockets here in the front in the pinky ice cream fabric. It has a nice squared bottom. I've got the pinky fabric on the inside. It's the blue fabric behind the pocket and on the back. I have added drawstring just using ribbon that I have. It is not the best ribbon. And it is a good size for a pair of mitts or socks or something like that. It's definitely a small project bag. And it has wee pockets into which I have added the pins badges I got from Wee Corner of Craft this week and I had forgotten about, and they were there as a surprise. One is the Lockdown Sock Down and the other is Let's Go Make a Cup of Tea. And I know the Lockdown Sock Down one sold out. I do not know about the Make a Cup of Tea one, but she has said that if people are interested, she could do another order. So yeah, that's all sitting in there. This is a paid pattern for the bag. It is the Wee Bra Bag, B-R-A-W bag. I'll put a link down below, but I do not remember the designer's name. If you Google it, you will, you might have to go through Pinterest and all sorts of random other stuff first, but you will come up with it. I made the larger size. If I make it again, which I most certainly do, this size is nice, but I was thinking if I just made the main body panels square rather than rectangular, that it would be just a little bit taller, and then I could fit a slightly larger, like a shawl project, into a slightly larger bag. If you have knit this and you have made modifications to make it a slightly bigger knitting bag, I would love to hear about that. If you have made this. I said made, not knit, right? Because I tend to refer to all crafting projects in terms of knitting. Obviously, proportionally, this would work better with a bigger ribbon, but yeah, it's very, very cute. It has wee little pockets at the front. Ta-da! And I really like it. The ice cream fabric I bought to make like the birthday gift bags I was making back at Christmas time, and these are just ones I hadn't made up yet. And then the blue is some scrap fabric I had that I used to make my quilting roll over the summer. So I just had enough fabric to make the top, and I thought it worked well. Oops. It is a fully reversible bag, and it is lined in the body. I like it. It's cute. It's fun. It was easy to make. Yeah, so I guess that counts as 2 finished objects because I've got the bag and the hand warmers. And I think, where did I put my Roomba room cleaning? Is just a few steps away. Oh good, my Roomba has finally finished mapping the house, and all I have to do is label and section the map, and I will be able to use it properly. Whips. Okay, let's start with, I showed you this last week and then I frogged it. This is a sock. I showed it to you last week and then I frogged it, and then I started it from the other direction. So this is Regia Pairfect. The purple fit entirely in the heel, and yes, I did have to reknit it ever so slightly to make that happen, because initially the purple was going to be just a tiny strip in the front, and then there was going to be just a little bit of the blue, but I pulled it out because the 2-row difference did not make enough of a difference to matter for the fit of the sock. In fact, it actually fit a little better for being a tiny bit shorter. So the purple marks, I believe, yes, the purple is up to 1 full repeat of the stripy colors. This is Regia Pairfect. So it starts with a bit of yellow, and then it goes through the colors, and then you hit yellow again, and that's how you know. It has instructions. Then you find, I'm sorry, the ball band disintegrated. So you find where the wrong color is, and you snip it off, and then you knit your sock, and then you pull the yarn to the wrong color again, snip it off, and start the second sock, and then you can have a pair of perfectly matched socks, as long as you don't do something weird in the middle, like do extra rows or change your gauge, or ooh, there's my 5-minute timer to go hit my children. I am not overly happy with the slightly extra squared off toe. It does not look great on this side, but it will be in a shoe most of the time anyone else sees it. Even at home, I wear slippers, especially in the winter. This is a 6-ply yarn. These are winter socks. I ripped it out and started again because I wanted to use up the entire half of the skein. So this is 1 color repeat, 2 color repeats. I'm working on this color right now, so then it'll be the purple, and then there's a 3rd repeat. So what I am doing going up the leg is, in each of these color sections, I am adding, right now I'm just adding 1 stitch, but I may need to add a few more so that it'll fit over my leg. I don't know if they will entirely make it to be knee socks, but I will try. And if they don't, then however far up my leg they go, that is how far up my leg they go. And then if, because they are not all the way past the fullness of my calf, they smooch down a little, they will still be warm, cozy winter socks, just in time not to need them. So that is my Regia Pairfect socks. These are for the SCR1TNO Stripy Sock Along, which is a year-long, I think it's a year-long, stripy sock along. And then each month there are a couple of either, well, both independent designers and commercial designers, commercial yarns and independent dyers who have been selected. And if you knit a pair of socks in one of those brands, then you get a double entry for the month. But yeah, check out her podcast. It is currently being run, the KnitALong, on both Instagram and Ravelry, but I know Sharon said she is working on starting a Mighty Networks group, or at least was looking into it as of the last of her podcasts that I watched, which I believe is now, there's been another one since then that I haven't seen yet. But Sock-A-Long, there is a list of the brands and what months there are. So like if you know you're not going to finish, if you can't, like you could start a pair of socks now and finish it in a couple of months, you can see what brands, what dyers are coming up and knit accordingly. So I have not very much time left to finish those, but having finished the very large project of the jumper, that is basically my main, and the little hand warmers, the socks are now my main priority. Sharon is also running a square a day blanket knit-along, and the first check-in, which is a 3-month check-in, and you need to have, I think it's 90 squares because it's 3 months and one of the months was 28 days and the other 2 are 31 days, so that should be 90. The end of the month is a 90-day check-in. Just checking the time real quick. I need to get going soon. But yeah, she's also running that. I do not have that to show for you today because I have not really been working on it. The other thing I've been working on is this blanket, which, because it is only available on Ravelry, I will not be naming the pattern or the designer. It is a corner-to-corner garter stitch blanket with an I-cord edging, and then every so many rows there is yarn overs. If that is enough information for you to be able to reverse engineer it on your own, you probably could have done it from looking at the pictures on the pattern anyway. I got this pattern, the designer made it free back in March, when most people, or April, back when lockdown for most of the people who might be watching this podcast became concerned with coronavirus. The designer made this pattern free. That is when I picked it. The designer does have their own website, but if you click on something to buy it, it takes you to Ravelry. It doesn't even, like sometimes they can run the system through Ravelry, but you just interact with their webpage. It is not that. It is you click on the design and it opens it as a Ravelry listing. So I will not be giving out that information. I am knitting this in the Marvellous monthly minis. Is that what it's? I have the box right over here. Sorry about this. No, don't. There are toys on top of the box. Does it say? It was inside the box, wasn't it? Marvellous monthly minis. Focus. Which is Giddy yarns. Sorry, it's through the back. And then these are January's colors, which was this light blue, stronger blue, and then these 3 gradient teal shades. I'll try to keep it close to me so you can see it, not quite so backlit. And now February's colors, which is dark purple, bright pink, light pink, and now a speckly one. I have not entirely finished. I still have this much left, but I don't know that this will get me across an entire row. So I am waiting for the next color to come, and then I am just holding the yarn double for a couple of stitches, and then I'll just weave the ends in when I'm done. So I'm just changing colors mid-row whenever I run out of yarn. With 2 months, I can say this is probably going to be a wonderful lap-size blanket for the sofa. So yes, that is my Marvellous monthly minis. Those are all the projects I am currently working on. If I have time, I will come back and add something about what we've been up to, but I think I've largely covered most of it. Just checking the time real quick. And so I'm going to say bye. and hopefully I will get this uploaded sometime sooner than a week from now. I hope you are well. I hope you are easing out of lockdown. I hope you are heading towards vaccinations or have already gotten your vaccination as needed. And I will talk to you in a week or two. Thank you so much. Bye.